Today at Let's Talk Marketplace, we talk about
what some of the biggest European marketplaces have on their agendas for 2025.
MediaMarkt Saturn, eBay, Kaufland, Ohl, Scroutz, Douglas, B&Q, Redcare Pharmacy and Globus told us more about their plans for this year, and Valerie and me share our thoughts about them.
Have fun listening.
Let's Talk Marketplace.
The Marketplace podcast with Ingrid Lommer and Valerie Dichtel.
Hello everyone and welcome to 2025, I guess. So hope you all had a great Christmas break and a perfect start into the new year. And I guess now I should ask Valerie about her holidays, but we're doing a little bit of time travel tricks again because we're recording this episode right before Christmas. So yeah, I hope you're going to have a good Christmas, or will be having had a good Christmas anyway. Hi, Valerie.
Hi. So yeah, I think so too. It's really right before Christmas. But when when this episode airs, I will be already on my holidays. And you will rock the Marketplace universe boat, right?
Yep, I will. Won't let it sink. So I'm very clear on that. I'm very clear that I'm going to make this. So, but are you any clearer now but you're going to be when this episode comes out, really? Because last we talked about it, I think you had a flight ticket and like 2 hotel nights and not much else.
Yeah, well,
okay,
we still have this
clearer.
Flight to Hanoi. We still don't have a flight backwards back home. Well, we come back in beginning of February. So I will be on holidays for 3 weeks and then work from Asia for 3 weeks. And yeah, well, we have a hotel for 2 nights. And also I will book, because I can tell this now, a motorbike food tour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because, I'm a foodie and I love to get like more knowledge about the food of the people, because there I learn about history and not like you, like about stones. I'm not so interested in stones. I'm mostly interested about food and the history of that one. And there I learn the most. So that's what we will do. And then let's see, maybe we go to Cambodia, and at the end of the whole travel, I will go to Thailand, Koh Phangan, and Koh Tao again to dive. Cool. Yeah, but when I will be there, we will record together again. So there will be some exotic episodes in the future. Let's see if we do a video or not.
Yeah, I see a coconut coming up very soon.
Yeah, that's promised for sure.
Okay. Right. So today I thought we could have a little bit of an outlook for 2025, because we missed our classic Marketplace year recap episode due to, stuff happening in the fashion industry. If you missed our last episode on the merger of About You and Zalando, I highly recommend that one. But I guess today I think we can look at what the marketplace players of Europe are going to do for 2025.
It sounds good. I saw that you have done a really crazy big overview in the past weeks. And,
just a little
yeah, well, you did. And I brought some figures from our marketplace universe. So maybe we do there a small recap, because we started our business this year, huh?
Yeah. Feels longer in a way. I think that's due to the many things we did this year. But yeah, let's have a look at those first, because I haven't seen the figures yet either. So what did we do this year?
So we started working together in January with the first idea. We founded our business in June 2024. In August, we already had a 6 figures company. Just 2 months after founding the company, we had 15 amazing clients, which are also working with us in 2025 again. Most of them relaunched the marketplace job matching service in July with Natalia Dobrova. We opened our website in mid of August. And I think also a reason why it feels so much or such a long time is that we doubled the amount of the Marketplace podcast episodes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did some 45 this year or something, I think.
Yeah. Yes. So every week instead of bi-weekly before, and we switched to English. I think overall that's quite important. last week we opened and published our first YouTube channel, and we pushed our podcast video on YouTube, which we also do with this one. And we started hosting the podcast fully by ourselves, which I think also is a big milestone, because before we were more like guests in our own podcast, and now we're the hosts and the producers of our own podcast. So that was a big one. In terms of LinkedIn growth, I had my personal overview. I had like 1.26 million impressions on my profile, growing by 1,800% year over year. Ooh, like these numbers are like 1,000% in growth. I reached 240,000 members, achieved 16,000 plus engagements, and gained to 16,300 followers, with more than 220 posts this year, averaging by 4.5 posts weekly, which is a lot as well.
Quite a lot. That's true.
Yeah, and I was in magazines as well, in the Capital magazine, printed, and at the Business Insider and in Gründerszene, which are all German publications, but I'm pretty proud about it. And we organized 7 webinars with over 1,000 attendees, and hosted also 3 Marketplace Universe Connect events across 2 cities with over 320 registrants. So I know why you feel it was a lot, and you also invented something new for us.
Yeah. I mean, what's missing from this list is our newsletter, which we also launched this year in, I think, April. Was it?
Yeah,
April.
April.
And we now have 2,300 subscribers and counting. Each week there's coming more and more people to join us, which is really great. I'm very grateful for all of you for reading our weekly newsletter, which also corresponds with our outstanding opening rate of over 55%, which is really
Yeah, really cool.
Really cool. I'm quite proud of that one.
And also the feedback we get from you is also really, really amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That you're using it, and for your own internal documents, that you're sending it to colleagues and stuff. This is why we're doing it. Yeah, for you to have something on hand that you can really use each week, and it's helpful too. So, great. Yeah. So I guess this is why this feels like such a full year, because it has been. We have been doing such a lot of things this year, and there's more to come next year. Big plans, or this year, as I say, when this launches. We are already in 2025, and I think we will just keep going at the same rate and the same speed, and continue to do all these things. So great. Anyway, so that was our Marketplace Universe. And I guess then we can have a look at what the marketplaces have planned for 2025. But before, because we're not doing any news flash this week, we have a bit of a different kind of news for you this time from our sponsor, Text2.
Every year, a multitude of new regulations are on the horizon at the turn of the year. Together with our partner Text2, we have taken a look at the tax-related topics that will occupy you marketplace people in the coming year.
Yeah, and one important piece of news is that the single VAT ID will not start as planned on January 1st. It will exist, but it will come, but not until summer 2028. Wow. So until then, traders have no need for action in this regard, even though it has been pushed for. They has been pushing for action for a long time. So yeah, this is going to be postponed.
However, they do need to take urgent action regarding the one-stop shop. All OSS deadlines must be met to the day, with no postponements due to Sundays or public holidays. In addition, the German tax offices need some time to transfer the data to their colleagues abroad. Therefore, ideally submit the report 5 working days before the deadline and pay for it then. By the way, Text2 CEO Roger Gutmann is already expecting the first OSS checks this year. You should therefore be able to provide full evidence for all individual transactions. Providers like Text2 can help you with this.
And last but not least, you have to keep in mind that Amazon no longer applies a reverse charge procedure for Amazon services in Germany. Instead, the classic input tax deduction applies to fulfillment fees, for example. So, but be aware, this only applies to Amazon in Germany. If you sell through other Amazon marketplaces in Europe, the reverse charge procedure continues to apply there, because why make it simple? Let's make it complicated. Yeah, so these are the most important tax issues for this year. We will also link information on that in the show notes. If you couldn't quite follow, I wouldn't blame you, because it is very complicated. Right. So I guess let's have a look what the big marketplaces of Europe are planning for next year. As we said, we did a little survey amongst the biggest players before Christmas. Not all of them answered, but a lot of them did. Among them is the MediaMarkt Saturn, eBay, Kaufland, Bol, Scroutz, Douglas, B&Q, Redcare Pharmacy, and also Globus. They all shared some interesting new perspective for what they're going to do this year, what they're planning, and what is in store for brands and sellers using these platforms. Yeah, so let's dive in.
Topic of the week.
Okay, so let's start with MediaMarkt Saturn. They had a highly successful year, they told me, in 2024, achieving their key goals in GMV growth and partner expansion and category diversification and everything. And the thing that they launched this year is a new focus on new verticals also. So they are now diving into toys and other related assortments that may have something to do with the general electronics assortments of MediaMarkt. Yeah, and this is something that they're going to push for next year as well.
And that's quite interesting, because usually you wouldn't think that MediaMarkt Saturn is about selling fitness products, baby and kids products, toys, right? I mean, we already had this topic this year, Ingrid, when you said Valerie, you need to put MediaMarkt Saturn on the sports quadrant. Yes. I was like, this is a consumer electronics marketplace. And you were like, no, have a look. They sell e-scooters and e-bikes. And I was like, yeah, but E. And then you were like, yeah, no, but they're also going into that one. And we also have a good collaboration with them. And they were like, yeah, you know what? We also want to go to fitness and maybe even clothing and in terms of sports. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's a different story. Or for baby products, they also want to go your baby, how do you call this? The baby Schale,
the car seats.
The car seats, or where you carry your baby in, that makes sense, and that is what they will add in their marketplace business.
Yeah. And I think there's lots of interesting new possibilities coming up here for sellers in particular, but also for brands that are able to do D2C on marketplaces. And not only in Germany, but MediaMarkt Saturn is also pushing for internationalization. So they are already active with their marketplace in the Netherlands and in Italy. And next year they will start in Poland, in Belgium, and also in Turkey over the whole next year. Consecutivity, so from one month to the other. So interesting new platform, I think, that you might not consider yet.
Yeah, and growing a lot. We all in the past few. Sometimes I was making jokes about their growth, ha ha ha. And now I'm like, okay, not ha 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 anymore. It's okay, I'm impressed now. But that's actually. What we right? To get positively surprised and then reverse our jokes.
Yeah.
Take it back. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll be the first to do that if you've got proof for us. And MediaMarkt does. So looking forward to what they're doing next year. Yeah, moving over to Kaufland maybe. They also had a successful 2024, and especially if you look at it from the internationalization side, because they started new marketplaces in Poland and Austria in last year, and the start went out quite well for them. They already attracted some 3,000 sellers on each platform. and also a lot of visitors, millions of visitors monthly. So working out quite well, I think.
I think what's so interesting about Kaufland is that Kaufland is also growing more into the eastern part of Europe. And there they are already well known. I mean, Kaufland is a big grocery store chain there. It's also that's also the reason in Germany. But I would say they are much more seen as a more luxury supermarket in Eastern Europe compared, for example, to Germany. And that's quite interesting, I think, also launching there. So what will happen there in the coming year?
Well, I have been asking that on whenever I met people from Kaufland over the last month, and always I was going for, okay, where are you going to start next? So is there another country on the agenda? And it isn't, because now I think they're fine for now with the countries they opened. They are now active in Poland and Czechia and Slovakia and in Austria. And I think now for next year, they just want to improve marketplace efficiency for their sellers, and also for the customers. Expand the product offerings, do much more in terms of rich content, in terms of retail media, enable their sellers to, present their products a bit nicer, better,
and to grow. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's, I think, the goal there. So there might come many small tweaks here and there for sellers, which makes their lives a bit easier. I think that is what is happening there. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Then let's have a look at eBay. There I have to say I got feedback from eBay Germany, so this might not be the same outlook for all the eBay communities
other countries
in the other countries. Yeah, but what they told me is eBay had a difficult year, actually, which this is something that I really like about eBay. They are always open about these kinds of things. They are not, glossing over stuff, but they're just saying, okay, they did some redirection strategy-wise. So they are really focusing on being the home for e-commerce last year, trying to attract more private sellers with the free private sale, which they also started in the UK last year. They're trying to attract a younger audience for the platform, which corresponds nicely with the re-commerce aspect of it, because it's something that younger audiences are more drawn to, actually. And they are also trying to get more small businesses and brands and try to support them with more technology and personal assistance as well, to make it easier to sell in this marketplace, because it still is a very different story to sell on eBay than to sell on any other marketplace. And I think this is what they realized last year, and now give more assistance to brands and sellers that might be struggling on the platform. Yeah.
So what about their goals? Actually, when I read your recap here, the plans for the coming year is that eBay plans to expand its focus on more private sellers, also intensifying efforts to engage younger customers. So the marketplace will continue enabling small and medium-sized businesses as well as brands, because we know that mostly of brands are listening here. To access also growth in the markets, right?
I think what eBay realized is that they have their strongest assets is their big user base. And they have been, and this user base has been shrinking over the last year, shrinking. They have always been using users to other platforms. And I think they realized that they have to stop this. So they have to be more attractive, especially for younger customers, because eBay customers tended to be male and over 40, maybe even over 50 over the last years.
Like my dad.
Yeah. So your dad is like the normal eBay customer.
Yeah, he is, actually.
Yeah. And they have to get away from that and be a bit more cool, a bit more attractive to younger audiences. And this is what they're going for. And this corresponds with this focus on small brands, small attractive brands, small businesses, better service, more coolness, so to speak, for the platform. I think this is a good idea. And they have already stopped the user bleed last year. So user numbers then stagnated, I think, for the first time in 5 years or something. And I hope this is a good way for them to go. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Then we also came in contact, actually in the last weeks of last year, with a platform that we hadn't had contact yet, and that is Scroutz. You talked about them. What was your idea of them?
Yeah, well, Scroutz is the biggest marketplace in Greece, and that's the reason why it's like, as I say, so far away from Germany, logistical wise, and that's also where they see their biggest like challenge, but also like point to turn mid-European people to sellers. Scroutz has had a highly successful year. They solidified their Greece e-commerce platform with over 6 million monthly visitors and a 30% year-over-year marketplace growth.
And they're a unicorn there. This is something that you always forget, actually, when you think about Scroutz. At least if you're a, if you're from Germany and don't have a good look at the Greece market. But yeah, they're a unicorn. Really big.
Okay, good one. And their international expansion thrived. So they launched Scroutz.ro, launched in Romania, and increased also their cross-border GMV by 500% year over year. And they also added up Cyprus, actually, also this year. And what's coming, or I always say this year, sorry, because we are recording in 2024. I need to like change this. Okay, in this year, 2025, Scroutz aims to enhance logistics through its fully fulfilled by Scroutz service, because that's actually a big challenge they know, because the fulfillment service, or like fulfillment from mid or Western Europe to Greece, that's actually a far distance. And also with all their islands in Greece, that's another point. But he said, like, in the interview we had, he was like, oh, the islands, that's another problem. We already have, like, we already know how this works. But getting also Western European sellers to have a profitable business because of the logistics, that's a big point. So yeah, that's actually what they want to do, expand with more international sellers next year in their loyalty program. And they also want to focus on onboarding sellers from Germany, Hungary, Czech Republic, and France, while deepening its presence in Romania and Cyprus. And that's actually, there's, I think, a lot more to come from this country.
I think so. This is a really interesting marketplace, and also one that is, I mean, no other platform really was able to tackle all these islands yet. So this is where Scroutz really is ahead of everyone else. And if you're now going into other countries, then interesting. I think we'll be talking more about them next year, this year. Now I'm doing it too.
Okay.
Right. So going to another international or local hero, which is really interesting, and that is Bol. In 2024, they have been a lot more open than before for international sellers, because it has always been fiendishly difficult, actually, to start on Bol. This is what I always got back from sellers and brands, is that they are very, very picky. It's not easy to get into this marketplace, even though it is so interesting for as the Dutch market is such an interesting market, and Bol is the leader there. So there hasn't been lack of interest from international sellers, but Bol was always a bit like, let's see.
It was also like, you need Dutch customer service, and they were like, But that has changed.
And that has too changed. I didn't know that. Really? No Dutch customer service anymore.
Yeah, they want to change it for international sellers because they know like they need to grow it.
Oh,
but I think we will talk about this a lot more in the coming year.
I think so too. But anyway, I talked to them and they said they're going to intensify the focus on international sellers in 2025 too, because they have now intensified partnerships with several middlewares that are focusing on internationalization, such as Channel Engine or TradeByte or Channelable and Rhythm. And there's a clear goal behind that to attract more international sellers. And they also have just started actually when this episode comes out, a promotion for new international sellers. If they sign up to Bol until February 28th, then they, via one of these partners that I just named, they get 50% off variable commissions. Yeah, but Bol still really has, cool. Yeah, that's a nice one. And it shows that they are really going for or trying to increase their assortment with international sellers there. But still, they still have high standards towards their sellers. For example, if you are getting this promotion, they expect you to realize at least 10 orders in the first 2 months of business on Bol. And if you not manage to do that, then this commission, this reduced commission will be off after 2 months.
You know what? I mean, that's just fair because it needs to be relevant what gets added to the platform.
Yes.
And that's important.
Yeah. And that's what they're going for. And they're also going for very good seller accountants and people that are helping you, seller support. So if you're on the platform,
you can talk with people there.
Yeah, you can talk with people there.
Big difference, for example, with Amazon, right, or Zalando, or wherever you always talk with a ticket system or like an sales ad email or whatever, or like ticket ad. You can talk with people
that's what they told me. They said we expect a lot from sellers, yes, but this is because we are investing in them as well. So I think that's a good deal. Yeah, more from Bol to come next year, this year. Time travel is difficult.
Coming change.
Okay.
Then we're talking about another like smaller local hero, right? Globus, in Switzerland.
In Switzerland, yeah. I think they were a bit surprised when I contacted them. It's like, okay, but we're mostly focusing on Switzerland and not so much on international customers. But anyway, they have plans to drive their growth by introducing new product categories, strong focus on sports, for example. And because this segment obviously is experiencing significant growth in Switzerland at the moment, so this is where they want to build on. And they're also trying to streamline partner integration by optimizing their systems, by optimizing product data onboarding and stuff like that. So make the whole processes a bit more efficient and transparent. And they are open for international partners, providing they can manage D2C shipping to Switzerland. So no help from Globus there. But if you're able to ship to Switzerland, then Globus is an interesting address, maybe. Yeah.
That's great.
And you have to offer a local return address. Anyway, that's Globus. I also contacted Redcare Pharmacy because they have been really active in 2024. They have been on very, very many conferences and trade fairs and always having big booths and speaker opportunities and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, where are they heading with the marketplace? And they were interestingly tight-lipped about the marketplace. They didn't tell me anything about the marketplace at all, even though they have been present with the marketplace on all these conferences.
That's so interesting.
Why? It's like, okay, where are you going? This is something that really tweaks my curiosity here, and I think we might hear more from them next year, but I guess they're in the building phase at the moment and don't want to, show their cards too soon or something like that. Overall, they had a good year, a solid financial year last year. This is what I got from them. It's just the normal financial numbers, and they are fine. It's not great, but fine. And they are looking for a revenue of like 2.35 billion in 2025. So this is a big, huge player. But I have no idea what the plans for the marketplace are and what the marketplace is supposed to contribute to this revenue.
What I just heard about in the past week was that DM is a drugstore in Germany, and they got a license for pharmacy product. for online. So I also heard that the Redcare and Osman is another competitor. Their shares dropped, especially on when this news got announced. So I think that will be there will be a huge, big new competitor in terms of like this pharmacy products business in Germany. So yeah, that could be very interesting.
Yeah, and the whole market, I think, is interesting, and it's just understandable that they are so tight-lipped because lots of things are happening, and also regulations are still not really clear all over Europe regarding pharmacy products and stuff. So lots of things happening there. I think maybe we should re-invite Gregor once again to talk about pharmacy marketplaces.
Definitely,
might be an interesting one for 2025. Yeah, talking about another marketplace that at least dips its toes in assortments
Cosmetics,
that are also
beauty.
But some anyway. So Douglas, I think you talked with them in more detail, did you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would say overall, Douglas has a great and really big growth in the past years about their marketplace business, and they expanded to many countries in France, in Switzerland, Czech Republic, and Slovakia. Sorry. And yeah, these milestones strengthened Douglas marketplace presence. In the past, they were not so sure about their category strategy, let's keep it like that.
Yeah.
So they were more like, they're from like originally pure beauty and like a bit drugstore, but more like pure beauty. And then they expanded and said like, oh, let's do also home and living, which is like add-on products. Let's keep it like that. And now they're like, that was maybe like too fast, too big, too far away from our original roots. And that's what they do. They are now looking for strengthening their core, which means their beauty category. They will also, will add on smaller brands also dedicated to beauty, but also like partially around this product assortment, but not so far away. For example, like they won't add on home and living anymore. What they also have on their agenda is their planned expansion to Hungary and Lithuania, which is, another one going more to Eastern Europe. That's, I think, quite interesting what we see when we talk about all of those. And I think their next one is coming as well. The expansion is not longer like, we don't say like, oh yeah, like let's go to Italy, Spain, la la la. It's more like Eastern Europe, Eastern Europe, Eastern Europe, or let's say Eastern Europe. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's really something that just happened in 2024. I think, one of my most successful articles or posts on LinkedIn was why is Eastern Europe the hot shit at the moment? This is I did 2 of those, and both were. I got lots and lots of engagement on those, lots of people commenting and reading it because this is something that is obviously on the agenda of lots of marketplaces here. And that is also true for the last marketplace that we'd like to talk about today, and this is B&Q. One of my favorite marketplace stories of 2024, to be certain. This is the DIY marketplace from Kingfisher, and they had a hugely successful year. Growing the marketplace and going forward in many directions. And just at the end of 2024, they announced that they have now opened their marketplace for international sellers. So the B&Q itself is a UK platform at the moment, but until now, only UK sellers could use it. But now they're welcoming international sellers from the Netherlands, Ireland, Poland again, Spain and Italy. Yeah. So, and this is really new, and I guess they're going to expand on that. And they already told me that they are looking for integrating sellers from the DACH region in 2025 as well. Finally. Yeah. I think we'll be keeping score on that, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about it in our news here on the podcast as soon as this comes out. Yeah. So this is definitely one of the most sexy platforms, I think, for next year.
So Ingrid, what is your like summary in terms of like, I would say, let's do it in 3 parts. We have like marketplace countries, marketplace, like which are the hottest categories in terms of marketplace business in the coming year, and maybe in terms of services. Let's make those 3.
Okay. Well, countries is, Eastern Europe, as we already said, is going to be the hot shit in 2025. I'm rather sure about that. What I fear a bit is for some kind of, more realism in the years to come, because what people tend to forget is now Poland and Czechia and Slovakia and Romania, whatever, are sexy countries. Yes, they are. But Poland is not an easy market, because there's Allegro, and Allegro is very, very strong inside the Polish market. And all the countries of Central Eastern Europe tend to have lower price points overall. And so it's more difficult to place your products there. You can't just go and say, I'm discovering new countries. Great. These are developed countries with their own e-commerce opportunities already set in place. There's Allegro. There's also Alsa in Czechia, for example. There's eMAG in Romania. There's Scroutz, as we just said, in Greece. So it's not that this is undiscovered country that you can just settle in. It has its own rules and regulations and competitors to come up against.
Sometimes even currencies.
Yeah, in currencies and demanding customers as well, and own logistics and so on. So it's not that easy, and you will definitely need help for with languages and currencies and logistics and whatever. So let's see. I'm curious to see the first real good best case study here of a seller and retailer.
Yeah, that's true. That's also what we're often missing, right? Okay, what is the hot shit category in the coming year?
Still DIY, I guess. Because,
of course, if you see.
Still. I'm sorry, it's not fashion.
I know.
I'm really sorry. No, it's not. Sorry to say. But it's not just DIY. I mean, DIY is very interesting, and it's still growing. And this is still Wild West times. We're not yet sure which players will be ahead. There is B&Q, which is really strong, but there's also Leroy Merlin and other players, and also the German players as well, like Obi. They're gaining ground. So this is going to be still Wild West in 2025, and we'll see who of them comes out as the leader, and what Amazon will do with the category, because I think Amazon is not using its full potential there as well. So DIY, but I guess also sports. I think. What do you say?
Yeah, I would also agree to that one. Yeah, it's DIY and it's sports, definitely. Maybe also, no. What I also can see is like in the FMCG sector, pets is growing.
Oh, yes, yeah. This is so
pets, food, pet care products as a small, but as a more niche product category. I think this is also one which is like growing more. Yeah. Yeah. And in terms of services, what would you say?
Services.
What are the very interesting services that people need in the coming year?
Well, I don't know if this is going to happen in 2025, but I'm still waiting for a platform that is a true marketplace platform that does not only combine products but also services behind it. And again, looking at DIY here, there would be so much potential to combine the products themselves with bringing other services inside in the platform, and selling the products together with services that might be on the platform itself. And this is something that is still not really happening.
Yeah, that's true. I would add that still logistics is still a topic. Fulfillment services are popping up. And retail media is big. Especially what I find so interesting is what Amazon is doing in retail media with like the Prime advertisements in video. And also being so specific about whom you can reach at which time, at which product, to definitely like just get the advertisement to the right target group. And this is actually no one has like in this depth as Amazon. So I think that will be a big topic for the coming year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. And I would say adding up to this, I mean, you had also the last episode from the last year. The big surprise or like the big unpredictable good or bad surprise will be the merging of About You and Zalando. As far as we know now, they will stay separate. But I mean, we don't know what will happen, how they will combine each other, how they will exchange information, how they will interact with each other in terms of marketplace overall, brand registration, brand approvals, logistics services. So there can be things which could be much better. There can be things in the future where you think like, oh no. And also in terms of like assortment, they said they just said that they have just a 30% share of brands who are on both platforms, which I cannot really, I don't know. I thought it would be much higher. Let's see. But I think that will be the big interesting one, especially in the fashion and sports also industry in the coming year. That's my kind of outlook. The DIY will grow further and getting more and more mature. And it's all about strengthening, growing, profitability, again and again and again.
Yeah, well, this is a topic that won't leave us for years and years to come, I think.
No, I mean, it's essential, right?
Yeah.
If it's not profitable in the long run, why should we do this?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that sums up our predictions for this year or our outlook on 2025. Thanks for listening to us, and let us know if there's anything that you have heard from marketplaces, what they are going to do this year. If there's anything that we missed, let us know, and we will include it in our coming episodes. And again, thank you for being a part of Let's Talk Marketplace. Thank you for following us, listening to us, sharing our podcast. Very appreciated. Yeah, next week when you tune in again, it will be just me with our guests from Plenty Market, and Valerie will be enjoying.
Yes.
Yeah, Plenty One. Yeah.
Also a new thing for next year.
Yeah, also a new thing. Sorry about that. Yeah, Plenty One. And Valerie will be enjoying the Asian Sun. So tune in again.
So thank you for your time. Happy New Year. And we are looking forward to spend this year with you together again.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You listen to Let's Talk Marketplace,
the Marketplace podcast with Ingrid Lommer and Valerie Dichtel.